Hello and welcome back to the channel. You may be aware that recently I've done a few videos on the Marella Voyager cruise ship, the places we went to, and also some of the things to expect when you're on board. Now if you're watching this video, the chances are that either you or somebody in your travelling party suffer from some sort of food allergy, whether that's something that might give you a minor stomach upset to something very serious like one of the people that was travelling in my party, which is a corn or maize allergy, which is relatively rare compared to many others. And like us, you may be considering a cruise because for you that may be better for your dietary requirements rather than having to go somewhere where you're not sure what you're going to be being served. For example, if you're eating out at restaurants in a town or a city where there might be a language barrier, where things might get confused and mixed up, and you could end up eating something that could be potentially very bad for you. So I'm going to explain the process with Marella, and I have to say from the outset it was very, very good, and we were very, very impressed, and we're glad we chose a cruise for just this reason. So what we do is we take a piece of A4 paper, printed paper, with a list of what can and can't be eaten and where the allergen might be found in food. Now in my wife's case, this is maize or corn. It's used predominantly across sauces, soft drinks, as a thickener, a bulker, and you'll find it in all sorts of products. It's one of the reasons we could never go to America, because the American diet has corn and maize in so many products. It just wouldn't be worth our time. So on arrival to your ship, go straight down to reception and explain to the receptionist that somebody in your party has an allergy. Tell them what it is and give them a piece of paper explaining the allergy and the problems it can cause. In my wife's case, she has to carry an EpiPen, so it's potentially deadly. Once you've given them that information, they will contact the head chef. That's the person responsible for overseeing all of the catering on board the ship. In our case, that person agreed to meet with us just to confirm what the allergy was and explain the process. And the process went like this. Each afternoon or evening, or sometimes very early in the morning, a note would be pushed under the door for our cabin. And this would be a print of the following day's or that day's menu. And on that menu, it would show all of the foods that were safe for my wife to eat in the main restaurant on that day. There was always more than one option as well, and that would be for both lunch and for dinner. Breakfast didn't matter because she'd just have fruit or something along those lines. So we knew we could safely go down to the restaurant and there'd be a meal there she could choose from. On arrival at the main restaurant, we would make the waiting staff aware that we were there, and they would know exactly what meal she could have that day. And they were excellent at this. We went for the main meal a few times. Each time we just told them who we were, our cabin number, and every time they came out with either a meal she could eat that we could all have the same meal, or they'd make her sometimes something separate. So if there was a sauce, for example, that might have had cornstarch in it to thicken it, or gravy that might have had cornstarch in to thicken it, they would make her a separate version of that that didn't have the cornstarch in it. And that meant that her dietary requirements were catered for throughout the holiday, and we didn't feel any nerves at all about going to eat at any of the restaurants. As always, I hope you found this video useful. If you did, then please consider giving it a thumbs up, and even better, I'd be really grateful if you could subscribe to my channel. It doesn't cost you anything at all, but it helps me make more content. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.